Most veterans either don't know this exists or think the VA reimbursement process takes forever. But today I'm going to show you how to file a travel claim, common mistakes that delay payment, and how to actually get your money faster. Before we jump into the step-by-step process, here's a quick look at everything we're going to cover in this video, including see some common mistakes that will delay your claim and a few pro tips to make the process even easier. But let's start with the most important question. Are you actually eligible? I'm going to start with the second block. You're traveling for care at a VA health facility or for a VA approved care at a non VA health facility in your community. What does that mean? If you have a medical appointment from VA or an approved appointment where that they set you up, that is step one to find out if you're eligible. Now that we know for the location, let's figure it out if you are eligible. At least one of these may be true. It's nice. Multiple options, so pay attention. You have a VA disability rating of 30% or higher. You're traveling for treatment of a service-connected condition, even if your VA disability rating is less than 30%. That's important. So if you don't have the 30%, but they said, hey, we have an appointment for X, and you go to the appointment, please go to your appointments. Please use the VA. They will pay for this because they told you to go to this appointment. They will pay for your mileage. You receive a VA pension. You have an income that is below the maximum annual VA pension rate. You can't afford to pay for your travel as defined by their guidelines. Or you're traveling for one of these reasons: a scheduled VA claim exam, also known as a compensation and pension, or C&B. Congratulations, good luck. I hope the C&P exam goes well. To get a service dog, or a VA approved transplant care. Additionally, there's some opportunity for any caregivers or attendants that you might have as a veteran. So they may pay for transportation and related lodging and meals for non-veterans if the person meets any of these requirements. The person is a family caregiver under the National Caregiver Program, traveling to receive caregiver training or to support your care. The person is your medically required attendant traveling with you to support your care, or the person is your transplant care donor or support person. Okay, let's find out what expenses that you might be able to make some money back on. And that top one. These expenses require pre-approval from your local VA health facility. Regular transportation, such as bus, taxi, rideshare, subway, light rail, train, plane, or special mode transportation, like an ambulance or special equipped vehicle. Meals and lodging expenses. This is one of those times you're doing something real interesting with the doctors, not just a normal appointment. And you have to get pre-approval to make sure that they're going to pay for all of these things and everything's identified, your T's are crossed, and your I's are dotted. This reminds me of while I was in trying to use DTS. Give them whatever paperwork, whatever plan that needs to happen and make this work. Moving on to the bottom, this is a whole lot easier. Does not require pre-approval. Mileage, parking, and tolls. That could be interesting. I bet not a lot of veterans realize that parking and tolls may qualify. I know I didn't. Now let's answer the question everybody cares about. When does the money actually hit your account? If you're filing electronically using VA.gov, the VA app, or BTSSS with direct deposit set up, many claims are processed in about 3 to 5 days, although it can vary by facility and claim type. For myself, so far in 2026, I've done 2 mileage claims, and I did get them in 3 days. That is a huge difference compared to the old paper submissions, which can take 45 days or longer because someone has to manually process them. But if you're sitting there refreshing your bank account every 10 minutes wondering where your money is, there are a few things that can slow it down. Don't worry, we're going to talk about what are some of the common mistakes that veterans make later in the video. Now that you learned all those specifics, let's see exactly how easy it is. On the left side, VA.gov, the right side, the VA app. Two different ways to submit your claim with no complicated paperwork, no printing forms. All you have to do is just select your appointment, confirm your information, and then submit your claim. Don't leave money on the table. We have reached the turnaround point. There's no reason to quit now because we're going to dig into what needs to be done ahead of time, direct deposit, and most important, some tips to help you in the future. What to do before you file your first claim: set up direct deposit, keep your receipts and all transportation and improved meals and lodging, and track your mileage to and from appointments. Very important. Plan to get this done within 30 days. It says you can still file a claim after 30 days, but claims filed after 30-day limit are usually denied. Do not wait. File your claim as soon as you can. Get the money back in your pocket. You need to get this done. I don't care if you have an appointment next week. Get this done now. You got time. How to set up direct deposit for the VA travel pay reimbursement. Now, if you're already getting money from the VA, I don't know why you got to do this separately, but it's the matrix and systems, and it's the government, so we're used to them not being very streamlined, I guess is a nice way to put it. You got two choices. One is old and busted and involves a fax machine. You can fill out form 10091 or use this other link to get access to the travel claim portal. If you are not scared of the internet, I would go there. If the internet scares you, use the form and enjoy your fax machine. What information will you need? Not difficult. Same information you need every other time you do something like this. Your social security number, address, bank name, routing number, account number, and the account type, checking or savings. If you chose the VA form 10091, feel free to fax it to that number or bring it to your local beneficiary travel office. Moving on to the slightly faster option, you can sign in with ID.me or login.gov. If you haven't figured that part out yet, I did make a video on that when they did the changeover. Check it out here. Then go ahead, proceed to the dashboard and update your review profile, bank information, make it happen. Make sure everything is correct and submit. Now let's talk about the stuff that turns your reimbursement from sports car speed back into sloth speed. First mistake, waiting too long to file your claim. A lot of veterans say I'll do it later, and later turns into I completely forgot. Second up, selecting the wrong appointment. Double check the appointment date and location before hitting submit. Third mistake, missing information if you're filing for parking tolls or certain travel situations. Make sure you have the information or receipts that you need. Number 4, don't let this be you. Incorrect or outdated banking information. Your claim can be approved, but your money still takes a detour. And number 5, assuming the VA automatically files travel reimbursement for you. Don't assume it's happening in the background. Verify your claim was actually submitted. Avoid these mistakes, and your reimbursement stays on the fast track instead of sitting in traffic. There's a couple things you can do ahead of time. Create your login, your choice, login.gov or ID.me. You need this anyways for logging in to the VA. And then don't forget to set up direct deposit. And then file immediately after the appointment. Don't wait. You might forget. And then if you go past the 30 days, you're out of luck. You have an app. Probably as you're sitting in the parking lot, you can spend less than 60 seconds, log into the app, and complete that mileage claim. These last two, if you're doing some of the more interesting appointments, super long distance, staying overnight, when meals are included. Save the receipts in your phone and keep mileage logs. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. You know what to do now. Don't jack it up. If this video helped you get paid faster, share it with another veteran. Too many veterans don't realize how easy travel reimbursement has become.